For this video, we're going to be focusing on lesson 2.1, analyzing loans. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to develop, generalize, explain, and apply strategies for determining the total interest to be paid on a loan, given the principal, interest rate, and number of compound periods for the loan, and as well as determine using technology the total cost of a loan under a variety of conditions. Example, different amortization periods, interest rates, compounding periods, and terms. When we're talking about loan, this is amount of money that is borrowed from a bank or an individual that must be paid back at the end of the term, usually inquiring interest over the lifetime of the loan, can involve regular loan payments over the term of the loan or a single payment at the end of the term. If we're talking about a mortgage, that's a loan, usually for the purchase of real estate, with the real estate purchase using collateral to secure the loan. If we're talking about the collateral, that's an asset that is held as security against the repayment of a loan. If you don't repay your loan, they take whatever you put up as collateral, car, house, land, etc. And one thing we're going to be working with is amortization tables. And so this is a table that lists regular payments of a loan and shows how much of each payment goes towards the interest charge and how much goes towards the principal. So for this section, we are going to be using the same website as financialcalculators.com, but instead of using the investment calculator, we're going to use the loan calculator. So how we need to find that again. I already have mine up, but I will show you again how to get it. So you go to your or you can Google financial-calculators. Make sure you go to the financial-calculators.com. Click on your online calculators. And then this time when you scroll down, you're looking for loan calculator, which would be at the top of the L's. Once you have your loan calculator, everything's pretty much set up for you decently. The only thing that needs to change is in the long period option. So sorry, click on options and then long period options, make sure that says amortized. And then you're good. So we're going to do the first example here. So here's my calculator. So Lars borrowed $1,200 at 5% compounded monthly. Lars negotiated regular loan payments at $350 at the end of each month until the loan is paid off. After 1 year of the payment, he still had a balance owing. We're going to complete an amortization table to determine how the loan is being paid off and determine the balance after 1 year. So to use the financial calculator, you're going to, so we need to put 12,000 because that's his loan payment. He's 5%. For the number of payments, in this case, we don't know. You might be careful with this because it's tempting to say, okay, it's 1 year, because that's what it says. But no, it just says after 1 year, he hasn't paid it off. So we don't know how long this thing actually is. But we do know what his monthly payments are is $350. For the payment frequency, it's monthly. For our compounding period, it's also monthly. And so the only other thing is to check the dates on the second page here. And so in my case, they're already a month apart. And so I don't have to change any of those dates. Hit calculate. And so what does pop up is the total interest paid and the total principal and interest. So the amount that this loan is, or how much you had to pay at the end. And so what we need to know after 1 year, so I need to use the amortization table. So how we get to that is this payment schedule. You click on that, and it's going to bring up the amortization table. And so what you see is each payment, so in our case, each month, is $350 for each payment, and then it tells you what's going towards the interest that's accumulating and what's going towards the principal. And so then we are concerned about 1 year. So I am looking for the 1 year or the end of 1 year. So just to note, the first number here is the number that you've paid. So in this case, since we're doing monthly, it's each month segment. and then the second one tallies up the years. So I'm looking for the end of year one, which would be this guy, 12 months later, end of year one. And so I go over, and the balance owing after the end of year one is this $8,316.33. So I'm going to write that down, is the amount owing. Is, what did I say? $8,316.33. Not that the question's asking, but you could scroll down, and so it's going to take about 4 years to pay off everything. That ends that question.